Everyone, so I'm back again with another video. Sorry it's been a while. With holidays and everything, it's been kind of crazy, so I figured especially with that, a lot of people probably wouldn't have time to watch them, so starting now and through the next year, I'm going to start doing a bunch of different videos for everyone. I've been getting a lot of input from other people on videos that they would want me to do, regarding fitness and, maybe show prep or how to get fit or, little minute details on certain stuff. And one of my friends, Ashley, she approached me with this idea, and I thought it was an absolutely amazing idea. And it's about how I went from struggling with my eating disorder to being on stage and the mental process that I went through with that. And there's a lot that I went through, so hopefully this video won't be too long, but I figured especially for anybody out there that is struggling with, a mental image or something deep down, which I think everybody does, this is kind of like a motivational video for you and how you can get through it. I actually did an interview kind of touching base with this with Brett Seeley about a year ago, and I know he has a lot going on, but hopefully someday it'll be a lot more professional looking than this on my computer, but at least for now, it'll help the people that maybe, New Year's around the corner and getting started with, their fitness and stuff. It'll help you kind of give you that little motivation that you need to get started and get through the next year. So to start with my eating disorder back when I was 14, I went out to California for a photo shoot with my dear friend Charlie, and her sister was an aspiring model out there and was dating a photographer, so we went out, and she was doing basically her senior pictures, because she was a few years older than me, obviously, and she asked if I wanted to do a photo shoot with her. And every little girl's always, thinks of doing, photo shoots and becoming a model, but I never really thought about it, and so I'm like, okay, sure, I guess that'll be fun. So they had hairstylists, makeup artists there, everything, brought our outfits. They were so cute. They were white shirts with ties and black slacks, and it was just so fun. So we got our hair done, our makeup done, and we just had such a fun time doing this photo shoot, and I knew I just had so much fun. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, someday I will be a model, whether, don't want to be anything famous, but I at least want to do something like this in my future because I had so much fun. And the photographer is like, wow, you're really photogenic. I think you should look into this. It was super awesome. Okay, great. So, it takes a couple of days for them to get all the pictures, and so you can print them out. So he got me pictures, and there was one where my top was tied a little bit above my belly button, and I just had these little dinky, I'm 14, I have baby fat, and I just saw these little things on above, my shirt here, just little baby love handles, and I freaked. In my head, I loved the picture, I loved the way I looked, but I saw that, and I was like, well, no, if I'm gonna do this, I'm too fat, I can't look like that. And I just started critiquing every little thing on my body. I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and I'm like, I'm too fat. So from there, it just started this frenzy of me learning what I can do, what an average weight of a model was, what I needed to weigh, how I needed to pursue it, what I need to do for exercise in order to burn this and that and the other thing. And I was obsessed. I was so overly obsessed with learning. I literally would sit at my computer any moments of the day, and I would just research and research and research on what foods to eat, what nutritional value there was, how much cardio I needed to do, what muscle did this and that. It was just crazy. It was crazy, and I became so overly obsessed with it, and in a non-healthy way, not like now, where I dream about lifting, but then I was just like, I need to get skinny, and I need to lose this much. So and I even have a journal, writing down stuff, what I was feeling and what I want my goal to be. And I remember within a month, I went from 122 pounds down to 112. 112 was my goal, and I reached it in less than a month. Not healthy at all. And then, you reach that goal, that's not good enough. So I reached that goal, and I wanted to get down to 108. you know, and it just kept lowering and lowering and lowering because I was being so hard on myself. It was never, ever, ever good enough. It just wasn't. And it eventually got to the point to where none of my clothes were fitting. My parents started noticing that I was really super skinny, and we would fight constantly. They're like, you need to eat, you need to eat. I'm like, no, I don't. You know, I'd wake up in the morning, I would do 100 sit-ups every morning, and then I'd go for a run. And I wouldn't eat anything. Like, if I was hungry, like, I remember I'd go to school and I'd just have, like, a little snack with, like, trail mix or something if I would, like, get super shaky or hungry, and I'd eat that. And then at lunch, I studied how apples were a negative calorie food, so it takes more calories to burn that than to actually ingest it. So I'd always eat an apple every single day with this dinky, stupid little ham sandwich. Like, that was it. Like, nothing. And then I'd go to cheer practice for 2.5 hours, which would burn a lot of calories. And then I'd go and have just like a dinky little portion of dinner, and that's all I'd eat. When I was exercising constantly all the time. And so my parents were noticing it. We'd always constantly fight. I was tearing the house apart, like, with my family. Like, I was tearing us apart just because they were so stressed about me. And I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I knew what I wanted to look like, but I was so twisted in my mind on how to get there because of the image that you see of models and how skinny they are, and you see the things that they do. And I thought that was okay because I was 14, you know. And so this happened all of my sophomore year of high school, and I can't stress enough on how depleted I was of nutrients and vitamins. I, to this day, don't even barely remember my sophomore year of high school. All I remember was cheerleading, and I remember going to practice, and I was so malnourished that I was constantly, like, shaky and exhausted, and I don't even remember how I got through my sophomore year of high school. I don't know any of the classes. I barely took. I remember one class specifically, and that was it. Like, all the other classes, to this day, I still have no idea. And I remember everybody, you know, when I was so secluded because I was so focused on what my goal needed to be that I didn't talk to anybody. Like, I remember all my friends would kind of like, hey, you know, what are you doing? Are you okay? Like, they would kind of follow me at lunch, and I'm like, yeah, just leave me alone. Like, I just wanted to be left alone because I knew what I needed to do. Again, I was so obsessed, it wasn't healthy at all. It was awful. And so my parents were always fighting. They wanted to get me into counseling. They knew I needed help, and I would just get mad. I would just get so mad at them, and I finally went to a counselor, and I was so mean to her. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk to you. You can't help me. Just let me do this on my own. I know what I need to do, and I want to get there, and I'm going to do it my way. It's my way or the highway, because I'm stubborn in my head. And so, again, it was just this whole body image. I you know, wasn't good enough, so I had to get down here, and it wasn't good enough, I had to get down here, and I was just so skinny. Like, none of my clothes fit at all. None of them. And in my head, in my mind, it wasn't that I was still fat, but I liked where I was at, and so I wanted to stay there. Like, I was skinny. I wanted to be skinny. I didn't want to have any fat on my body. And I remember finally one day, I went and weighed, and another thing is every day I would weigh myself to make sure I wasn't gaining weight. And I remember one day I went to the nurse's office, and I stepped on the scale, and I was 104 pounds. And it was crazy. Like, in my head, like, I was excited, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. Like, that's not okay. But, you know, me being stubborn, I'm like, oh yeah, perfect. Like, I want to get down to 100 pounds. Like, I was just sick. I was sick in the head. I was sick. I looked sick. And finally, my friend at the time, Whitney, for my birthday, she made me this cute little booklet of pictures of us because we had been friends since we were like 8 years old. And, you know, bless her heart, she was just being supportive of me the whole time. She knew I was going to jump out of it, but she just didn't know when. And so, anyway, so she made me this little booklet of like all these pictures of us growing up. And I remember we used to be such dorks, and we'd go and try on like goofy clothes just for fun at the mall, and we would just be dorks. And I remember looking at this one picture and how skinny my arms were from when we were trying on these clothes, and my skin color was like a grayish green. It was disgusting. And I remember looking at that, and I'm like, that's what I look like? Like, I thought I would look, you know, like this beautiful glowing skinny model. And I saw the color of my skin, and I'm like, that's what I look like? Like, that's what I'm walking around looking like right now. And it just, like, triggered me. Like, that one picture, I remember looking at it, I'm like, no, this is not okay. I have to change. Something has to change. And so I finally just started eating a little bit more and more. And what ended up happening is my senior year, and this is for all those girls that have eating disorders, it's not worth it, because my metabolism was so slowed down that when I started eating again, I ended up gaining a lot of weight. Like, I got up to about 140 pounds, which isn't a lot, but from going from like a size 0 to a size 9, because my body was so out of whack, and I'm sure it messed up my hormones tremendously, which isn't good when you're in high school. You know, you're getting started with your hormones and everything, your body's transitioning. So I went from a size 0 all the way up to a size 9 my senior year, and started up the process all over again. I was so pissed off that I was from that little to this big, and in my mind, again, I felt fat, which isn't okay, and it started the process over again. And I got out of high school, and then my weight just went like this all the time. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I was in a bad relationship that, you know, I'd gain weight, and then I'd get so stressed out, and then I'd lose all this weight, and I would be sick for weeks. And it just went up and down, just constantly from when I was 14 till I was 21, when I started this journey with fitness and competition and stuff, because for that long of a period of time, I was never, ever happy with what I saw. I was never confident in myself, ever. And that's a long time, and that's not okay. That's too long of a time to not be confident with who you are and just be happy, because I wasn't fat, ever. I just wasn't, but in my mind I was, which is ridiculous. So finally, that's when I went, you know, and when my friend had told me in my last video, I talked about how he told me about doing the bikini competition. I'm like, no, like, there's no way I am going on stage in a bikini. Like, again, in my head, I'm like, I don't look good, I'm not pretty enough, I don't have boobs, I don't have a butt. Like, there's no way I can do that. Okay, Amy, you know everything, sure, fine, whatever. And so, you know, again, at that time, I was just doing cardio. I was trying to get fit, I was trying to look good, get toned, because I didn't want to lift weights and get bulky. And that's finally, I was like, you know what, Amy, you're either going to try it and you're going to lift weights and trust these people that are doing it, or you're going to be miserable and you're just going to keep doing cardio and not see any results. Like, are you going to bite the bullet and do it and strive for something, or are you just going to sit back and do cardio the rest of your life? Is basically, you know, why not push myself? Why not try and take that next step? Yeah, it's going to be hard. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of crap that goes with it, and you're going to have to work really hard, or it's either that or you're going to step back and just do nothing about it. So that's basically what was going on in my mind. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. What's it going to hurt? You know? And it was hard. You know, there's a lot of things that go with it. If you're in a relationship and, you know, the boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't like it because of whatever, I went through that. But you know what? This is about you. This is about your journey, and being respectful about it and pushing your limits. That's what it's about. And so with that, you know, I started with my journey of doing the weightlifting and the cardio and preparing for a show, and it was the best 12 weeks of my life. Like, watching my body transform to the body that I've wanted for the last 10 years of my life was the best. It was the best 12 weeks of my life. I'm like, this is what I've been wanting to do this whole time. This is what I needed to do. And so watching your body grow and watching, you know, transitioning, I mean, it's humbling. You know, the people that get these big heads about themselves, it blows me away, because I'm like, you know what? It takes a lot of hard work. You have to bust your ass. You do. You have to work hard. You're doing endless cardio. You're having to prep your meals. You're having to go out and find your bikini and get the heels and practice posing and everything that goes along with it. And to see your body transform into the way you want it to be, and you're able to go on stage in front of hundreds of people and be like, this is what I've been working for, this is what I've wanted to look like all my life, it's the best feeling in the world, because it's a personal accomplishment. At least it was for me. I was able to walk, I didn't know what to expect doing a show. I walked on stage and I'm like, wow, there's a ton of people out there, but this is where I'm at, this is what I got, and I'm happy, and I'm finally confident for the first time in my life. You know, and I knew in deep part of my mind, I'm like, well, there's still some things that I do want to work on, but for the first time in my life, I got abs the healthy way. I wasn't starving myself. I wasn't, you know, completely and utterly sick. You know, sometimes you do feel a little crappy, a little tired, but nothing like how I was before. And it was the best feeling. And then meeting all these other women who have gone through the same thing, you would be so surprised on how, I was surprised with how many women went through the same thing I did. I felt like I was the only one up there. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been through so much crap, you know, but other women have been through the same thing, if not worse, and meeting those people, and it helps motivate you too, knowing that you're not the only one that has gone through so much stuff in your life, and you're up here that one moment in your, you know, for you, that one moment on stage that's your moment to shine, and it's just amazing. So for anybody out there that's watching this, if you're young, if you're older, if you're struggling with motivation, if you're struggling with body image, the one thing you have to remember that I always tell people, if you have weight to lose, if you have, you know, if you're suffering with an eating disorder and you need to gain weight, no matter where you're at with whatever you have to do, just remember it's temporary. What you're going through is not permanent. If you're so much of weight and you need to lose 50 pounds, you can do that, because it's temporary. It's not permanently there for the rest of your life unless you choose it to be. Or if you're 98 pounds and you need to gain 20 pounds, you're only 98 pounds temporarily, and you just need to do what you need to do and believe in yourself and gain those 20 pounds, because it's just temporary. It's not permanent. So, and just remember, you're beautiful, no matter what. It sounds cheesy, but I can't stress to anybody how much it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what Hollywood says. I can't stand Hollywood because of the way and the way they go about beauty with people, that everybody has to be perfect. If everybody was perfect, how boring would this world be? Every woman, every man has a flaw. I can't tell you how many times I've had people try and point out flaws on my body because it's not good enough. Well, why do you care? Why do you care what my flaws are? I believe in myself. I love myself. And if you don't like it, go pound sand. I really don't care. I know where I need to go. I know what I want to do. I know that the friends that I have in my life love me for me, and that's all that matters. And it's just a matter of focusing on you, where you want to go, believing in yourself, knowing that you're beautiful, and knowing that you can do whatever you set your mind to. That's what it comes down to. So I hope this helps so much with sharing my journey, and it's been a really rough journey. It's been up and down and up and down, but finally now, for the first time in my life, I can truly say that it's been uphill, and I know where I need to go, I know where I want to go, and I'm going to get there no matter what. Nothing's going to stop me. So again, I love you all, whoever is watching this. If you have any questions, or if you need any kind of help with anything, please email me, or post a comment, or message me on Facebook, or whatever you need to do. I'm here, because I know it's not easy, and getting through everything with your fitness journey can be hard. It's a trial and a tribulation, and really trying to get through everything, no matter what people are saying. You have to tune them out and focus on yourself and believe in yourself. Again, that's why I love the saying for Team Hard Bodies: believe in yourself, inspire others, and achieve your goals. That's, to me, what it comes down to in your fitness journey. And first and foremost, you just have to believe in yourself. So thank you so much for watching this. There's going to be plenty other videos to come, so if anybody has any other suggestions, please let me know. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and again, I love you all. I believe in you all. Go out and inspire others and achieve your goals, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.